So I recently quit my job. This is my first full-time job out of university. Yes, I just finished university and I'm 23 years old. I would say it's a decent job because it had okay salary and decent progression opportunities, as well as okay exit opportunities because it's in banking, and I think banking usually has decent exit opportunities. The work-life balance was not bad since it wasn't a big bank, so the volume wasn't that big. My colleagues were all quite nice and there wasn't much office politics. And the economy isn't doing that well. So the job market isn't in great condition, and if I quit, not sure how many jobs are going to be out there. And I know quite a few graduates struggling to find a job right now. So if I quit my job, I would have quit a stable job. I would have quit a promising path. And I would lag behind all my peers who didn't quit. I wouldn't be able to execute my savings plan that I had to save an X amount every month, so I could reach an X amount in X years later. I won't be able to be in my boss's position somewhere down the line, since he's quite successful, I think. Would I still be able to find a job? Would the hiring manager of the next job question my decision to quit? They probably question me like, oh, so why did you quit? Like, did you have any problems you faced? Well, not really, so many questions were bothering me. So now you may ask, why did I quit? The main reason is the fear of this stability. I was scared that if I stayed any longer, I would stay here all my life. It was precisely because of the fact that the job was decent that I felt that I had no reason to quit. And I'm 23, and I still remember when I was like 10. So time flies, and I was scared that I would let years go by. I was scared that my salary would increase, that I would have children and more responsibility. And by then, quitting would be such a difficult decision that it would no longer be an option. And I do believe that as a man, you ultimately have to carry the weight and responsibility in order to take care of the people you care about. So it did feel like a irresponsible thing to do if I quit then. The second main reason is my knack for this role. So this role was a client-facing role, and usually client-facing roles mean the sales of products, so in this case it would be financial products. And although I would say it's quite useful and important to have skills in sales, I think it's a skill that everyone should have to some extent. To some extent. Here comes the question, the type of question that I answered all throughout my academic journey. So to what extent are sales skills important? I thought long and hard, and my answer, it depends. Anyways, the bottom line is that I felt like it would be much easier to sell a product that I liked, because it would be more direct, since I'll be able to see why I purchased the product for myself, and I'll be able to see if the client has the need for such product, and then go from there. a product that I didn't really care about meant that I wasn't able to intuitively see the needs of the client, and I think that limited my ability and knack for such a role. These two reasons are the main reasons that made me want to quit. Because trying to take the long-term view showed me that I would be stuck in a role that I wouldn't be great at, even though maybe 10-20 years down the line you would still be quite good because the amount of time you spent in this role and the amount of times you practiced. I think someone said, I forgot who, that you first have to get good at a skill before you can enjoy it. So I was kind of thinking about that as well. But I felt that I still wouldn't be able to fully explore my own potential. Okay, now I have basically outlined my two reasons. It does sound quite logical. But when this feeling came, or this desire to quit came, it came more as a gut feeling. I didn't really sit down and write down all the reasons I should quit and all the reasons I shouldn't quit and then do a cost-benefit analysis. I didn't do a pros versus cons comparison. To be honest, it was simply, it felt wrong to stay. I felt like I was limiting my potential. And here comes the toughest part. Actually quitting. Because even though I mentioned those two reasons, I haven't really made the decision to quit. I thought about quitting at least 100 times before I decide the actual date to quit. And in between then, I actually thought about not quitting at least 100 times. It was like a roller coaster. It wasn't really that solid, if you know what I mean. So how did I decide that I actually am going to quit? I spoke with my parents. I really did expect them, because they're Asian parents, to tell me something along the lines of, you shouldn't quit. Quitters are for losers. Shout out David Goggins. But my parents said that I should always focus on the future and enjoy the present. Focus on the future and enjoy the present. And they could tell that I wasn't enjoying the present, as well as I was skeptical about the future. And they told me that I won't be able to excel at anything with that kind of attitude and mindset. So they thought that it would be best for me to quit. And really, that gave me the courage to quit. They also really emphasized that I should only focus on myself and not compare with others, because 10-20 years down the line, whether I quit or not, nobody's really going to care about these academic or career related achievements. They're probably more concerned about their own financial situation, or their own children, or something like that, or their health. And the people who are actually going to care about you outside of yourself are only going to be your family and maybe some close friends. want to thank my parents for that. To anyone listening, you may want some advice on whether you should quit, but not have someone to give you the courage to do so. Really want to, tell you to quit, because I think, I'm not sure if me quitting my job was the right decision or not. But whether or not it's a right decision or a wrong decision, it's really your own choice. If I quit my job and did nothing, then obviously quitting would be the wrong decision. If I quit my job and found my path, then quitting would obviously be the right decision. It might take longer, but as long as you focus on the future and enjoy the present, any decision you make is correct to some extent.